Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. Better see with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.
We are the nation of domination.
Welcome to another episode of BIRDGANG Nation Sports Talk. I'm your host, BIRDGANG 31. Today, Nation, we got a very special guest in the house. It is game day, and I had to go get one of the best over there in Titan World. How you doing today, Titan Rossi?
I'm good, man. I like that intro, dude. That's
Thanks,
nice.
man. Thanks. I try to switch them up. I got a couple of them I work with. I like that one a lot, though. But how you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. I was a little under the weather yesterday, but I'm doing better. I'm freaking pumped for this game, dude. I really am. Unfortunate how we, lost to the Bengals again last week. Still kind of licking my wounds from that one, but hopefully we show up today and we play a tough game with y'all. So
how do you like the season so far for the Titans right now? You guys are doing good on that playoff run. It looks like, Derrick Henry is being Derrick Henry, and that's scary. So how do you feel about the team as a whole so far? And tell me a little bit about the quarterbacks. Who you like better?
yeah, I mean, so far the difference this year and last year, I mean, we've beat all the teams that we're supposed to beat. The only team we've beat with a winning record was the Commanders. And when we played them, they were 1-3 and they had Carson Wentz. So I don't even really count that really. And every game has been close. I mean, other than the Green Bay game where we, took control of that game, but every game has been close. It's kind of hard to gauge this team, man, because they go out, they play a good game against Kansas City with a rookie quarterback. And they almost pull that game off, and and then they come out and they play a close game against the Bengals. They didn't play their best. It was still close, but it's kind of, as a Titans fan, I think we're all kind of waiting to win a game like this. Go on the road. Are we a legit team? Can we beat a legitimate playoff opponent? And that's kind of where I'm at right now with it all? Are we
In a hostile environment, because
legit?
it's gonna be lit at the link today.
Right. Oh yeah. Yep. Definitely.
Okay, well, tell me about this guy. You guys let him go, Mr. AJ Brown. You didn't want to pay the man. Now he's in Philly. Tell me how you felt about the whole situation.
I never agreed with it from the very beginning. I made that loud and clear on Twitter and everything else. I thought it was the dumbest move in the world. There's kind of stories from both sides. Whose fault is it? Is it AJ's? Is it the Titans fans as a whole would say it's AJ's fault and blah blah blah? But from what I've heard is, they gave him a lower offer than he wanted, and the Eagles were willing to give him a good contract, and all power to him. Like he said this week in a interview that when they asked him about it in the locker room, that it changed his family's life. I mean, you can't argue with that.
Yeah.
A man wants to make his money, and in the NFL, you only have so many years to do that, and if you get the chance, take it. And it's been a great marriage in Philadelphia with Hurts and him. I mean, they're lighting the NFL on fire. And I'm, like I said, man, I didn't agree with it from the beginning. I was shocked. It's the first time really in Titans history since they've been in Tennessee that they really had a dynamic. I mean, we've had good wide receivers, Derek Mason, players like that, but somebody who can really just change the game. And it was the first time the Titans hit on a pick like that, and they trade them away. So it is what it is, trying to move on. Excited about Traylon Burks. We'll see what he can do.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Did you like what you see so far from him? I know he started out a little slow. Yeah, I think he started picking it up the last couple of games here. And then, do you think the future of the passing game because everybody know you guys can run football. You got the best running back in football. He's been the best for a long time. It's just like he is dominating. But I think to take you guys to that Super Bowl winning team, like you said, if you guys would have kept AJ again this year, what I'm saying, the way he's playing right now, you guys could have probably be, that Super Bowl team, undefeated type team over there, because you have both sides of it to run in the pass game. And I think that's what makes our team so deadly, is that we kind of pick our poison. Like, what do you want to do against it? You want to stop our run game? Then we'll go pass. You want to stop our pass game? Then we'll run football. You can't stop both at the same time if you're not like on top of your game, that day. So I think it's going to be a good test today to see you guys, because it's both playoff style teams. And I think we're both trying to get to the ultimate goal, and that's the Super Bowl. And it continues this week. I mean, today, actually.
Right. And, Traylon Burks, I was mixing AJ Brown's name in there. Traylon Burks. He was hurt for like 4 or 5 games. He was on IR. He came back a few weeks ago. Since he's been back, I mean, the passing game has been leaps and bounds better. I mean, he's playing really well. I mean, he's had like 250 something yards in the last 3 weeks. Actually more than AJ Brown in the last 3 weeks, believe it or not. But the issue is that the Titans have not been, like last week, they're not scoring touchdowns, but they've had the big play ability with Traylon. I mean, they're able to throw deep with him. So it is encouraging. Tannehill's played pretty well the past few weeks. But honestly, we're not going to win this game if we can't get Henry going. I'm convinced of that, just in this type of game against this type of team. I just don't think there's a chance in hell if you don't get Derrick Henry going. Last week was bad. I mean, the past 3 weeks, the run game has not been great. Now our Ben Jones, we got our starting center back, who's our best offensive lineman. That's been an issue without him. The run blocking has been super suspect. Pass blocking has been better. Run blocking has been terrible. So we'll see what happens today with Ben Jones back.
Yeah, man. It's going to be a test. It's going to be a test because we got a huge defensive line over there. We got Dominican Sue, Linval
Yep,
Joseph. We just got Jordan Davis back, 20 pounds lighter and in shape, so you
I
still
saw
got
that.
Cox, Hargrave, Sweat, Brandon. I think if you guys were to really light it up on the run game, it'd probably be off the edges. I don't think you guys are really going to do any damage straight up and down, straight up and down the field. It's going to be more hitting the sides, hitting the edges, hitting the corners, trying to see if we can get
Yeah.
Derrick Henry around those corners. But, I think that'll play to our benefit because, we definitely will be blocking up that inside interior line pretty well there.
And the issue with that too, Bird Gang, is that we have not been good running on the edges. Toss plays, terrible for us. Sweeps, terrible. We just not been good. And one of the main factors of that is Dennis Daly, our left tackle who's playing for Luan. And we have a rookie right tackle in Nicholas Petit Ferrer, who's done well, but he's not as good in run blocking as he is pass blocking, which is weird for a rookie tackle. But Dennis Daly, and if I were you guys and I was the Eagles defensive coordinator, I would attack Dennis Daly all day long. I mean, I would send people his way all day long, blitzes, whatever else. I mean, you don't even need a blitz to beat the guy. I mean, he's that bad.
Wow.
Like he's slow. I mean, it's just
I like
I'm not trying to
I like
badmouth our team, but Daly is a liability 100%, and he's one of the reasons that Tannehill was getting harassed. Now, to say that all, they've played better the last couple weeks. They allowed 1 sack last week. I don't think they allowed any sacks against Green Bay. So, hopefully they can protect Tannehill and open up some lanes for Henry. But like you said, it's going to be hard to run up the middle. And that's what I wanted to ask you too, because, Jordan Davis obviously made a huge splash in the NFL Combine. I mean, the man's like, what, almost 400 pounds or something?
He was. I think he's more towards like the 320 range now.
Okay, and he ran like a 4.78 40 or something insane.
I'm great.
And how good is this guy? Like, I mean, I've not watched him play much. How good is he?
He's real good, man.
Right
like
now in his career.
He had his rookie, first couple of games getting in there, getting his feet wet. But the more he's played, the more he, you look at who he has coaching him. Hargraves, Fletcher Cox, you know what I'm saying? Like total Pro Bowls, all pros, You still got Milton Williams, who had a good year last year back there, So he was doing his thing. And like when he was in the game, he's a physical specimen. So it's like his being in the middle of that defense helped our defense that much more. I think when he was in the game, running backs having like 3 yards per carry or something against us. Like he totally, it was a big drop when he left in terms of what people.
Why do you have to come back for us, man?
But for me, I don't even think it's
next week.
It's not even just big. I don't think he's gonna play that much for real. Like he is coming back, he's activated. But I don't think, when you have that many, you got 6. 6 bona fide, can start on anybody's team, defensive tackles there. I think that, you kind of work them in there, maybe on a crucial 3rd down or something like that. You let him go in there and do his thing. But he's had a high ankle sprain. I don't think he'll want to come back and mess that up anytime soon. But but Jordan Davis in general is like, he's a freak of nature, man. Like that's a big dude. He kind of does what he wants. The more he learns to play, the better he gets. And now he has Sue and Linval Joseph over there to teach him. Like that's going to be crazy moving forward. And I think all this is going to be great because we're going to get all these pieces back for like the playoff push. And then that's when our teams are really going to peak. Everybody's like the Eagles not peaking yet. Like we haven't even played a complete game yet. And we're 10-1. How many teams can say that? They're working. We're not peaking yet. We're not, up there, freaking blowing teams out left and right. We beat the teams we're supposed to beat, like you said. Everybody wants to say the Vikings, the Cowboys. We beat both of those guys. Beat them both pretty badly. And we still don't get no respect out there. And I think that's kind of crazy. I think everybody should be like the Eagles are the best team in football because we are the most complete team, roster wise, and the way we're playing.
Everybody wants to toot Kansas City's horn. You know what I mean? And I didn't mean to cut you off, but during that Kansas City game we played them, I don't know if you watched that game at all, but the 2-point conversion, they literally gave them 3 tries to get that, to beat us. If we stop them on that 2-point conversion, like we did without the penalty, we win that game. And they did everything in their power. The refs did everything in their power to make them get that 2-point. Gave them 3 tries. Travis Kelce. Yeah, Travis Kelce, they say the last one, Kelce came up. They say that our guy was holding. They called holding on us. Well, Travis Kelce immediately off the line jams his hands into our dude's face. And the only way he could do his hands was to put it around Kelce because he had his hands up in his face mask. And they called it on them. It's just, the NFL loves
privileges. That's Travis Kelce, man. You know he's going to get a call.
I don't know have y'all played them recently? Like in the last couple seasons?
We played them last year. We gave him a fight for 3 quarters. And then at the end, it kind of, we were still young last year. I feel like this year we're more complete. We're more like, savvied up, like some of those rookies last year and first year players. They needed more time. They needed more playing time. You see Quez Watkins now. He's had more. I think they said he has like 5 touchdowns. That's more than any 6 or higher player, drafted by us ever. So it's like he's doing his thing. We got A.J. Brown. We got Devontae Smith. It's like we got that team. We don't need to have one guy go off every game. It's like who are you going to give up? You got to give up somebody because the way our team's set up, we do it both when you have a quarterback like Jalen Hurts, man.
You know who really scares me on y'all's team on offense is Miles Sanders.
Yeah. We haven't talked about him yet,
Dude, he is a baller. I've always liked the man. He is a tough, hard-nosed runner. 900 yards this season, 5.1 yards per carry. I mean, he's like 3rd in the NFL or something, 8 touchdowns. The guy is a beast. And I'm telling you, man, the Titans are going to have to play a damn near perfect game on defense to be able to win this game. I mean, containing Hurts, stopping Sanders. We have not done real well at containing quarterbacks, like mobile quarterbacks, letting them get out of the pocket, letting them make plays, letting them run. So, I mean, and that's Hurts' game, right? I mean, but he can also kill you from the pocket too. So, it's going to be a heck of a
Tell us about that defense over there. Like, I'm not too familiar with it. Just give us some like key players we need to be watching for, heading into this game, and who you think who needs to be the leader of that defense to stop them.
I mean, Jeffrey Simmons. Jeffrey Simmons is the king of our defense. He's a guy that last week didn't have a great game. It was, but all in all, we weren't physical. Usually we come out, we smack people in the mouth, we're tough. That's kind of our mantra. But last week we just didn't have that edge for whatever reason. And that's what Jeffrey Simmons brings. You know what I mean? He's a guy he's like the king. He's got to get going for us to win. Bud Dupree's been back. He's another guy
Bud.
He improves our defense a lot. You got guys, unsung guys who don't get a lot of attention. Tier Tart, he's a guy that's played really well, and he's from Philadelphia. So he's stoked to play in this game. David Long's another guy last week who had a bad game. He was just, just not playing well, and he's usually our best linebacker. And obviously the matchup of the day is going to be Christian Fulton versus AJ Brown. And
how do you think that's going to go?
I think Fulton should know how to cover him because he covered him in practice for 3 or 4 seasons.
That's true.
So I mean, he should. I think he'll do okay against them. Fulton got smoked by T. Higgins last week. Of course, T. Higgins is 6'5", 6'4", or whatever. But I think he's going to play him decent. I do. I think it's going to be a kind of a back and forth matchup all day with them too.
Nice. And what about, so you say that guy Fulton is going against AJ. Who's going against Smitty and Quez?
What they'll do, and they've been doing this now. This is the issue too: is we have a rookie on the other side, Roger McCreary. Now, he's played really
From
well.
Auburn,
Like
right?
yeah, he's played well. Yeah, from Auburn, second round pick. He's tough. He's one of those guys likes to play man-to-man coverage, getting there and get physical, but it burns him every so often.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got burnt a couple times. They'll switch him, which is crazy, but the Titans do this for whatever reason. They switch their cornerbacks up a lot on people, so you'll probably see him on AJ a few times during the game. But I'm hoping that McCreary will, be able to hold up against Devontae, because Devontae's really good, man. I mean, he's a guy that can hurt you too. And he's good at getting those kind of third down catches and stuff like that. So it's going to be a tough matchup for McCreary today.
Man, it is. And then you probably got Simmons over the top, and you guys probably play a lot too high.
Yeah, you got Simmons and, Byard, of course. Byard's had a quiet year. He's good. He's had a quiet year. He's not a lot of picks. Not, you don't hear his name much, which is probably good for safety. But, he's just not had that year that he had last year. Andrew Adams, another guy, strong safety that came in for Amani Hooker when he was out. He's rated the 5th best strong safety on Pro Football Focus, which is crazy because he's literally like a practice squad guy. He's a vet, been on and off practice squads. He's just come in, and they're using Amani Hooker a lot in the nickel position, which is interesting because he's a strong safety, and Amani Hooker's really good. So, you got guys missing Denitro Autry. Him being out has hurt us a lot in the past couple weeks. Autry was the sack leader, great run stopper. I mean, he was having a Pro Bowl season before he got hurt, and that's really hurt us on the defensive line a lot.
Yes, man. Where are you guys in the division? You guys number 1 in your division?
Yeah, our division is terrible. It's the worst division in football. You got Jacksonville is 4-7. The Colts are 4-7-1, and then of course the Texans are like 1-10 or something. So it literally is the worst division in football. And we practically, if we won 2 more games and the Colts just lost the game, we would be I think we would clinch a spot from what I understand. So it's, this game is not really, as far as a must-win game for the Titans, it's not really a must-win game, not just for the fact that it's the NFC. It's just, as long as we beat the people we're supposed to beat on the way out this season, we'll be fine. But like I said, Titans fans want to see this team go and beat a good team. That's what we want to see. We're not this, we're happy with being in the playoffs. We've been winning the past 5 seasons. We've been top 5 in the league in wins. We want to go further. We just don't want to be one and done. We want to see this team make it to the Super Bowl. I mean, unfortunately, I just don't see this team being that caliber of a team.
Do you think it's the quarterback?
Offense, I just don't.
Do you think Tannehill's a Super Bowl winning quarterback, or do you think Malik Willis is going to be the future of your team, or do you still think you guys need to go in the draft and get a real quarterback?
I like Malik Willis. I think he's got a lot of potential. He was actually my number 1 quarterback in the draft. I think he's got great potential, but I still think he's a couple years off. I think he's a project player. I don't know, next year, maybe the year after, I think you're seeing a whole different type of player who's just who can really be a great player in this league. But Tannehill is like, if you give the problem is, look, a few years ago, Tannehill had a killer season when he came in for Mariota and the season after that, but he had weapons. You know what I mean? He had AJ Brown. he doesn't have any weapons. He has a couple weapons, but the Titans offensive coordinator, Todd Downing, is terrible at utilizing those weapons. Player personnel he's terrible at it. You know what I mean? Traylon Burks will be off the field in key situations. Derrick Henry will be off the field in key situations. It's terrible. He is, I think, in my opinion, probably the worst offensive coordinator in the National Football League.
Wow.
He is that. I'm serious. He's that bad. Now he's done a little better the past few weeks. Obviously he got the DUI, but he's done a little better on the field the past few weeks, and we'll see what happens today. Hopefully he can put his best players out there and play good, have good situational play calling today.
How has Robert Woods been with the team?
He's been good. I think it's just a matter of the offensive line has been so terrible in pass blocking. I mean, up until the last few weeks, that's what I was going to say about Tannehill. I think if you give him some weapons and you give him a decent offensive line, maybe he could be that guy, considering the defense that we have. Now, if you don't have a good defense, then no. But maybe he could be that guy. But, Robert Woods has been a good player for us. They're not getting these guys the ball. They're not giving Tannehill enough time to sit and get into his reads and stuff like that. So we've seen an uptick the last few weeks. He's averaged about 300 yards the last few weeks.
Wow.
So, that's something that's definitely a positive, and hopefully we can continue to get players like Robert Woods, Traylon Burks the ball, because Woods has been good. I mean, he's a savvy vet.
Nice. Yeah, man. This team is, how do you see that matchup working out? Slay, Bradbury having Pro Bowl type years. At least you did get a break because Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, which sucks. Hey, man,
Right. That's huge.
because he was a monster leading the league in interceptions this year for our team.
Yeah.
And he's down. How do you see this matchup going? And we had Maddox out too. He's a really good slot corner that we don't have anymore.
Yeah.
That he's out. So just say Scott plays all right, but Maddox definitely will be an upgrade. But how do you see that receiver, matchup going there?
How long has Maddox been out?
He's been out for like what? 4 weeks, I think.
Okay.
4 games.
It's going to be tough, man. Y'all have awesome corners. It is going to be tough. Obviously, Gardner Johnson being out definitely helps us. But it's going to be a tough matchup. I think that Traylon Burks will be okay getting separation. I'm worried about guys like Woods. I'm worried about, Nick Westbrook-Akina being able to get consistent separation. Our wide receiver core is just not that dynamic. It's just not. I mean, like I said, Burks is a bright spot, but guys like Austin Hooper, the tight end we brought in from Cleveland, and Chig Okonkwo, they've been doing a good job of getting them the ball the last few weeks, and those are two tight ends that should be utilized more. That's something we've been screaming all season to Todd Downing. Man, use these guys. Use these tight ends as weapon. I mean, Chig can run a 4.5 40. He's a tight end. He's made big plays. You know what I mean? He's averaged almost 19 yards a catch for a tight end. That's pretty good.
Yeah, you guys been having some good tight ends come through there too. All the way back to Delaney Walker days. He was a beast.
Yeah.
Juno was just on your team, right? Why'd you guys even let him go too? Like Juno Smith?
Another dumb decision, I guess. And he wanted a lot of money too. I mean, I don't know. Seeing how he's done in New England, and I don't know if they've really utilized him well either. I think he kind of went from the same type of style of coaching to the, from Vrabel to Belichick. Yeah. Probably not much disconnect there. Vrabel is very Belichickian, so that was another one I didn't want to lose either.
Give me 3 hot takes for the game. The Titans win if these three things happen.
Yeah. So the Titans win number one if Derrick Henry has a really good game. Not just like a
How big? Because
90.
100 yards would be a good game, but I don't think that could be enough. I think it has to be like one of them
No,
150, like 200-yard games.
yeah, it's got to be one of those Derrick Henry crazy games. 150 yards, 3 touchdowns, whatever. Catch a screen pass for 50, 60 yards, something like that. That type of
Mhm.
Derrick Henry game. Um, the Titans can also win if they can contain Jalen Hurts and you know kill the X plays. No big plays. Contain Jalen Hurts, get to him, pressure him. I think if you can somehow force the guy to make mistakes, which he does not do often at
Mhm.
all. He's only thrown 3 picks on the year. Then they could possibly win. Um, and another way they could possibly win, I just think it's a combination of things, man. I don't. It's not like with this team, this Eagles team, you have to play so many facets right. You know what I mean? It's not like playing the Texans or the
Mhm.
Colts or something. I mean, where you could get by with just, maybe Henry having a good game and nobody else. Like they're going to really have to be able to throw in certain situations and run the ball as well. I don't think Derrick Henry would have to have a monster game himself for them just to win on his legs. But I think there's going to be times in this game where Ryan Tannehill is going to have to make some plays to keep the chains moving,
Mhm.
critical points in this game to keep the chains moving, keep, Jalen Hurts off the field. I think that's another key, keep Jalen Hurts off the field, time of possession.
With Jalen Hurts, do you think where do you rank Jalen right now? I'm not saying his career because obviously he's only really started. He's been 3 years, but only started two. This is his second year starting.
Mm.
But in terms of like the playoff race, the Pro Bowl, not Pro Bowl, but MVP race going on right now. He's what one, two, three, fourth highest quarterback grade, in the NFL per PFF. Like, how do you see him? Do you think he is a legit MVP candidate? Or do you think, not yet, these other guys? Because we're only going off of this year. When people see
Yeah.
this, they think his whole career, what these other guys did their whole career. But this year, I'm saying 3 interceptions. Only two was doing stuff like that, but Jalen got some more rushing yards that's not even here. The fact that last year he was such a rusher and everybody gave him that, but like, gave him talent for that, but he needed to up that passing game. And this year, like I said, he's definitely doing that part. Do you think he is the MVP?
Um, I mean, as far as for his team, you know what I mean? If you really break down the word MVP, yeah, I would say so. Just because his ability to run, his ability to pass. I mean, if you guys the way you guys play and the way that it's set up, I mean, it would be hard if you had to rely on somebody else, if you got hurt or something, just because the style of play that you guys play on offense is so tailor made for him. And I don't know who your offensive coordinator is, but he's done a hell of a
Shane
job.
Steichen.
Huh?
Shane Steichen.
Okay. I mean, he's done a hell of a
Yeah.
job from what I'm seeing, an outsider looking
Well,
in.
everybody knows still
Um,
Nick's show. He gave up the play calling, but it's still his offense. He's still doing his thing.
Yeah, but if you look at guys like, a lot of people want to say it's Mahomes this year, MVP, blah blah blah. I'd say as of right now, um, I'd say Jalen. I mean, Tua's done a hell of a job too.
Yeah,
He's a guy kind of the same
but those two
situation.
guys,
Yeah,
Jalen and
amazing.
Tita, those are the best like two receivers in the league for real. Like those guys are dominant. They're
Oh
game
yeah,
changers. Like even the year we drafted Devontae, I loved Smitty, the Slim Reaper, but I was way more of a Jalen Waddle fan. And we
yeah,
had
and
we could have got him there. Like, oh man, like that's Jalen Waddle. He's different. Like his gameplay is different. It's like keeping the turbo going on Madden at all times. Him and then you go get Cheetah, who's even better. That's proven it. Been doing it for years.
right.
The mass double coverage. That's amazing over there. what they got going on.
Yeah,
Miami.
Jalen and Tua, both quarterbacks coming into this season, big question marks. Everybody, can they be for real? Can they be legit quarterbacks, passing quarterbacks too? And they've both proven that they can be. Now, obviously, Tua's got arguably the best wide receiver combo
Oh yeah,
in the league. You guys rank up there too with
hands down,
Devontae
they're
and
way
AJ.
better than ours. I like them. Like
Yeah,
I love our boys, and we're doing great things. But I think we don't have to be like that. Think that's why people don't give the Eagles as much credit as I think they deserve. Because they see individuals,
right.
they see certain groups. They're really good, but they're not the best, or in their overall. In reality, we don't need to have nobody be the best overall. You know what I'm saying? Like we keep letting it. That
Right.
makes our team that much more dangerous. You don't know. Jalen Hurts, he's only a running quarterback. Then he goes like what 4 games, 5 games, he don't even run the ball. He's just sitting there in the pocket, just ice
Yeah.
picking you. You know what I'm saying? So we're shutting doors. I mean, we're shutting down people and what they're thinking about our team. But at the same time, we don't get the respect because we are top five in this, we are top five in that, we are top five here, there, wherever. And that's not
Right.
number one in all categories. And I feel like with the team that we have, they expect us to be perfect, and we got to have perfect stats, be number one in everything before we get our respect to be like the top team in the NFL right now.
Well, we've as Titans fans, we never get any respect, period, for anything.
Hey,
I mean,
Derek
we
gets
get
enough for everybody. Everybody, no matter what team there
yeah,
is out there, King Henry is the best,
you could say that, but
hands down.
yeah,
No matter what you got, who you talk to, any game, they're gonna
yeah,
tell you you're the
he
best running back.
is. Henry is the best in my opinion. That the problem is that it's a sad thing, right? That we don't have a good offensive line for him. All off season we screamed about this. Go pick up an offensive lineman, get somebody in free agency. You know what I mean?
Mhm,
They didn't do it. And of course, Luan gets hurt first
mhm,
game of the season, and it's just like they didn't do anything to improve their offensive line. They drafted the third round guy, but thank God he's panned out some because that could have been a disaster, you know.
mhm,
But it's like they just, it's a shame. I feel like in a way we're wasting Derrick Henry right now.
mhm.
I feel like he's still in his prime and you're just not putting it. It's like a
The Barry
quarterback
Sanders
needs
effect.
playmakers. A quarterback needs playmakers,
Yeah.
right? Jalen Hurts, you add AJ Brown, look at what he's doing. You know, I still think he would have had a good year
Yeah.
regardless, but you add
Not
a
that good, but
dynamic
yeah.
player like that, you give them playmakers. With a running back, it's your offensive line.
Mhm,
If you got a guy like Derrick Henry, who is one of the most gifted athletes in the last decade,
yeah.
as far as his side, his speed, his strength, give him a good offensive line, man. What are we doing in Tennessee? Stop
That'd
wasting
be the
this
first
guy's
thing you
talent.
do.
You know, huh? Yeah,
I
yeah,
said that'd be the
definitely.
first
So
thing he
I
did.
feel
We got
like
that game.
I think that's something they're definitely going to address in the offseason this season, but it's just a shame, man. And hopefully, they can start playing better. Like I said, Ben Jones coming back is massive for us. It's a
He's a good
massive,
center.
massive upgrade. So hopefully they can get something going today.
Do you think that the Eagles can get, shut out by your defense, like if they're playing on all cylinders? Like, what I'm saying? Do you think they're that quality of a defense that they can stop this offense?
What, like 0 points
Like
type of
shut them
shutout?
down, stop them. Like let Henry control the whole game. Like when Henry takes it like 80 yards, and then
Yeah.
defense come out with big fire because it's a away game. I don't know how you guys play on the on the road. I can go back
Without
home.
Danico Autry in the lineup, I'll no. I think that we can. The stats are kind of misleading with us because you look at total yards, it's like 22nd in defense and this and that, but they're very misleading as far as that goes. I think that we can slow down them good enough to win the game, we could, we can slow down. The key thing today is forcing you guys to field goals. That is the key thing, because you're not going to stop that offense every single drive. You know what I mean? But I think the key thing is holding them to field goals. If we can hold you guys to field goals and get Henry going, I think we have a shot at winning this game. I don't think we're going to just completely shut you guys down on offense. I just don't see that happening. I think the way you guys play, it's just not a good matchup for us defensively on offense, in
Okay.
my opinion.
Okay. Well, do this for me. Give me 5 of your all-time favorite Titans players of all time, since you've been a Titans fan, and
Yeah, man.
5 defense players.
I would say, Steve McNair, my number one all-time player. Then there's a strong safety, Blaine Bishop, the hitman.
I
He
know
was
that.
one of my,
Yeah.
yeah. I'd say Derek Mason's got to be one of my favorites. Frank Wycheck, definitely the freak, Javon Curse.
Woo, we love the curse too. We love curse
Yeah,
too.
he played for you guys.
Yeah.
He was amazing in the few years that we had him. Kevin Carter, when he played for us, he was a beast too. Brad Hopkins, offensive lineman, one of the best to ever do it. Who else we got? I'm
Not gonna
drawing
put King
blanks
Henry
here.
on the list.
Delaney Walker,
Lane
yeah,
Walker was a beast.
obviously King Henry. Delaney Walker, great player too. There's so many good players that we've had, especially on defense. We've had a lot of good. Keith Bullock,
Bullock,
Mr.
yeah.
Monday
I was
Night.
about to say that.
We've had a lot of great players on defense, and
What was that DT you guys had too? Albert Hainsworth, but not him, but it was a DT that was
he
really
just
good.
retired.
Huh?
He just retired.
Yeah.
Jarrell Casey.
Casey. Yeah.
Yeah, Casey was really good. But we've had a lot of those. Some of my favorites, as far as offense and defense, I'd say.
What about coach?
Fisher took us to a Super Bowl, but Mike Vrabel, definitely. I mean, he's brought a culture to this team that we've really never had. I mean, just that toughness. He kind of embodies the whole kind of Tennessee type of spirit, and Nashville tough type of thing. And Vrabel, they bought into it, and we love Mike Vrabel. I mean, we love him and hate him, but he wins. He's a winner. I mean, ever since he's been here, he's won games. I mean,
Yeah.
have
What
we?
matters?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really done anything in the playoffs other than, a few years ago we went to the AFC Championship game, which was kind of that surprise year.
Mm-hmm.
But I really believe in Vrabel. I think he's a good enough coach to get you a Super Bowl at some point. I just think that it's going to boil down to the general managers and player acquisition. If they can get the right players, I think, Vrabel could do something with it.
Realistically, how far do you think this Titans team can go this year?
If the offense can get going and Derrick Henry in December has the third most yards per game in the history of the NFL.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
Clinton Portis was one. Barry Sanders was second, I think. So Derrick Henry in December, historically, he's been fantastic. Now, he has the worst offensive line he's had in his career here. So I don't know if it's going to be the same thing this December. Hopefully it is. But I think if you can get Henry going and you can get Burks involved and get this offense clicking, yeah, I do think we could. I think we could beat anybody. But that's a big if and a big but, and I don't see it this season. I don't think we are a Super Bowl quality team this season. I think we could do some things, but
and make it to the AFC Championship, or you think you're going
I
division?
think we could. I think we could. I mean, if we get the right matchups, I think we can make it to the AFC Championship game this season. It just depends. It all hinges. The defense, I'm not really too worried about. I think the defense is good enough to get them where they want to go. I just think a lot of it has to do with the offense. I mean, this is an offensive league now. I mean, yeah,
Mhm.
defense still matters. Defense is still big, but if you don't have that quarterback who can step up and make plays, you don't have that key weapon in your receiving game. I think that's just what we've been missing all season. And Traylon Burks can be that guy. The question is, will he be? Will he continue to be that guy? And the offensive line has to play better. I don't. That's one main reason I feel like we're not a Super Bowl quality team is the offensive line.
Offensive
I mean, I
line.
think that's the number one reason I feel like we're not.
Do you think it'll be one of those situations where you guys will always pay Henry to either he'll walk away and want to go to a more winning team one day, or do you think it's like one of them things where you think you guys will get it together over the next year or two?
I don't know. That's a good question, man. I hope we never lose Henry. I mean, I think he's under contract till 2024. So they're gonna have to do something next season, probably, or at least the end of next season
He's
to
a
see
running
it.
back. He's not the quarterback. He's not taking up like all that much money.
No,
You know.
and he actually has a really friendly deal with us. It's pretty amazing, actually. I mean, he could have been the highest paid running back in the league, but he took a 3-year, $50 million deal that was very team friendly. So he likes it here. He's comfortable here. His family's here. I mean, of course, he played in Alabama. So we'll see. We'll see how much, if he's still got a few good seasons in him. He takes a lot of hits and he takes a lot of carries.
But he's bigger than everybody.
I mean, you look at your guy Miles Sanders. He's got 177 carries this year. Derrick Henry's got like 230 or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, big difference.
So it's big difference.
He's like
And
one of the
like I said,
last
the
ones that
offensive
can
line,
get
man,
that 300 carry. Like, not too many people be getting over 300 carries a year anymore. Like
they
you said, it's a
don't. They
passing
really
league now.
don't.
Like that is like why he's so legendary. Is that he's still
Yeah.
there. When you're playing them, the Titans, you got to stop that man first, and then once you kind of
Yeah.
stop him, now you worry about anything else. And like that's a hard feat, man. He's been putting yards up for us since he's been in the league for the most part.
Yeah, he has. And you know, the Eagles, they're a good team, man. They are a Super Bowl quality team. Do you think they are?
Yes, I think we're gonna win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I didn't really
I
we
mean,
beat ourselves in Washington, so I don't even give that as a loss. To me, we're still
what
undefeated.
about last week? What happened last week? Y'all won by a point, right?
Yeah, something like that. Against it was like 7 points, I think.
No,
Uh,
no, no,
Green
not
Bay.
Green Bay. The week before. The week
Uh,
before.
are you talking about the Texans? Was it? Was it the Texans? Who was before
Or the
Green Bay?
Colts.
Colts.
I
Yeah,
think it was
Colts.
the Colts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did what we had to do, and we stopped Jonathan Taylor, man. Like I said, our
Yeah.
team is that team where if you got a superstar receiver, if you got a superstar tight end, if you got a superstar running back, we're good at locking those superstars down. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Right.
got superstar quarterback. Even Aaron Rodgers before he left in the third quarter. He only had 140 yards. He lit us up the first couple of drives. Team are getting really good first and second drives. It's kind of like we play vanilla on purpose so you can show your hand, like a game of a game of cards or something. Show your hand what you're gonna do to us. We're gonna stay in this vanilla defense, let you move up and down the field. Then we kind of adapt towards that,
Yeah.
and our defense started becoming more shut down. We started really vibing off what's going on in the game. But I feel like it's always the no-namers, like a no-namer tight end, and I forgot what game it was, lit us up. Receivers that aren't stars in the league light us up. Running backs that aren't really expecting to do much, are the ones that light us up. But whenever we're playing like real stars, no, they don't. Like quarterbacks that aren't stars, they light us up sometimes. That's why we're about Tannehill lighting us up because he's good, but I don't think he's like elite or nothing. Like he has his good games, he has his bad games. I'm hoping for a bad game
Yeah.
today when you got all these big guys in his face all day. So he can light you up,
Right.
though.
Yeah, he can. And shout out to Titan South. I see him in the chat. He's one of my followers. So
Thank you for
appreciate you
stopping
coming
by. You
on.
guys hit that like, yeah. You
Yeah,
know,
y'all hit that like button for our dude, man. I see your live shows pop up on my notifications all the time. I try to tune in
hey,
here and
thanks.
there,
I
man.
always
I
love
love,
the support, man.
yeah, man. I love what you're doing there, man. You got a good following. You just congrats on the 6K.
Oh yeah, man. I would definitely
You
not
know,
end this without saying that, but I did want to give that shout out to all you
yeah,
guys. You know, where is it? Let's go. Here it is. We did just get over 7K
awesome, dude.
and
7K, my
600.
bad. 7K. Wow,
600,000. Much love to the nation. I couldn't do this without any of you guys. Thanks for all the support, everybody that supported the channel.
incredible.
And let's keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like it's been a blessing. You know, it's been a grind for sure. So we're just gonna keep grinding it out. And it helps that our Eagles team is doing so well this year. So you know that's
How long
helped us
have
out.
you had a channel?
A year and 3 months. A year was in August.
That's
Oh no,
great.
the year was in June. Was it June? Something like that. So I'm like
That's
a year
great,
and a
man.
half almost in right now. You know, like
Good for you.
it's been good, man. I cannot complain, man. These guys have been supportive, you know, and I just, I think what's lately is just like, been working a lot. It's kind of hard to do both, and you gotta feed the family
I know
first.
that. Believe me.
But I love it, man. I try to give up my all as much as possible, and I got more stuff coming. Like we're gonna keep grinding, we're gonna keep growing. That's this channel, the
Yeah,
BGN channel, the BGN channel just went over 1,000 subscribers over there. We
nice,
got the
man.
BGN Entertainment channel that went over 1,000 subscribers over there. So it's growing, man. It's growing. Kind of building a little empire. And trying to see it all grow at one time. So
Yeah, we with my channel, it's I'm at about 1,400 subs on YouTube. But I'm more Twitter has really taken off for me this year. I mean, I'm getting close to 4K, I believe, on Twitter and stuff like that. But what's cool is what we've done with our little network, the Titan Upload Network. We've all banded together. We've added, we got 5 channels now. Of course, Titan Upload's got over 10K subs, but we're growing collectively, and
yeah,
it's pretty cool um, how it's all transpired, and just excited about what
hold
we're
on.
doing there with our network. So as a whole.
Hold on. This thing. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, good, good. Yeah, I heard you. That was
Yeah.
good. Sorry about that. I started echoing. I was like,
Oh no,
no, stop it.
you're good.
But yeah,
How?
you
Let
guys
me
doing
ask
good.
you this.
You guys doing good over there, man. Like I love just people that like to grind and work together, and build something. Like, I
Yeah,
like
man.
this. It's a hobby, you kind of take it a little bit more serious once you get monetized. You're kind of like, okay, well, I can actually, trying to push it to
Yeah,
be a little bit better. And, it's been a grind on all levels, but I love it, man. And I've met so many awesome content creators, man, and people in
me too.
general, players and, all kind of stuff. You never knew you were going to ever be here in this seat, what I'm saying? Like talking to, when I was talking to Corey Simon or, Leonard Weaver or, Bobby
Yeah,
Taylor, all these players. Tony Richardson never even played with the Eagles, but it's like he's still a legendary fullback. Just talking to these guys and like, all the other
it's
great
cool.
content creators from the Philly Minds to Titan Andersons and stuff like that. Like everybody's,
Yeah,
we've talked to some really good people and like I love what everybody's doing and. I wish nothing but success. Like that's how it is on BGN. It's like we're just a bunch of guys just like talking football. Anybody that want to help us grow, they can come help us grow. If not, we're still gonna be doing our thing growing on our own. What I'm saying? We love talking football and we try to bring the heat. You got to bring entertainment with it too. I feel like, it's kind of like
yeah,
not just about, talking about your team. You got to like make someone laugh or make someone, get it pumped up, get excited about a football game. I think that is our jobs on here, is to get our fans involved and excited. So,
yeah, man.
do you think it's going to be a high scoring game, low scoring game? Big simple.
I picked on my show, and I gave a score prediction on my show yesterday, and we had one of my bosses, who is an Eagles fan, came on the show.
I seen that.
Yeah.
I seen that.
Um, I told them about your channel too. They should check you out. But I said 27-17 the Eagles. And look, I'm a homer, man. Like I rarely pick against my team, but I feel like it's going to be close going into the fourth quarter. I feel like it's going to be, 24 to 17 or whatever, going into the fourth quarter, maybe late into the fourth quarter, and the Eagles just kind of do something to, or maybe it's 17-17 going into the fourth quarter and the Eagles turn it up, they score a touchdown. We get the ball back, we go a 3 and out, and the Eagles kick a field goal, kind of seal the deal towards it. I just feel like it's going to be one of those type of games where we're kind of maybe chasing a little bit, trying to keep in it. I don't think we're going to just lay down and take a big L, but I think that we'll keep it close. We'll fight, we'll dig, but I think it's just there's going to be a point in the game where Jalen Hurts makes a play that really changes the momentum, where whether it's in the third, fourth quarter, something like that. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we go up there in Philly and we beat
I
y'all.
like it.
All is
I like it.
forgiven for the Bengals loss, But I feel like you guys are just going to be a little too much for us today at the end. But we'll see.
I do feel like that. It's going to be definitely close start now. And like you said, it's going to get to that point where the points kind of overmatch what Henry's doing. I think early Henry's probably going to start lighting us up early, like boom. And I got him on fantasy too, and that sucks. I kept him in because I'm like, okay, if you do good, I'm not going to be
I
that.
have them too.
Maybe you can help me out in some kind of way. But I just think it's going to hit that point where I always feel like if you can be explosive offense and like score quickly, it's hard for the other team to keep doing their same game plan. Like it'd be cool in the first quarter to, you're running, say Henry does get a touchdown. Okay, now we come hurry up and score. Then you got to run it, and eventually it's just like we get that stop, and then like we're still scoring fast. If we hit that point in the game where it's like we start, spreading away from you guys, and that's when you guys worry about passing the ball because now time's going to be in, and then that's when our defense kind of comes alive and do what they got to do.
Let me ask you a fantasy question real quick. All right. So I picked up Deshaun Watson off the free agent wire. And I got my other quarterback. I have Kyler Murray. He's on a bye. But Geno Smith is my other quarterback. They're playing the Rams today at L.A. And then I got Watson playing at Houston. Obviously, Houston's the worst team in the league. Would you start Watson today? I mean, first game back. I mean, over Geno against the Rams. I mean, the Rams haven't been too great, but
they've been trash.
Yeah,
but
I mean, would you give them a shot?
Is what's name playing on for the Rams today? Is Stafford playing again?
I don't think so.
He was out.
No,
that's trash. You can start because it's like I don't know. How the NFL is big business. They're gonna want to see a smoking hot, Watson against the Texans too.
Yeah.
You're going against your former team, first game back, Texans, Cleveland,
crazy, right?
Watson. I think that the league might push towards, because I don't know, because I've seen practice tape of him being garbage, but I know it's practice. He hasn't really played football in a couple of years, and of course, they're going to put that kind of tape out there so you can think he's trash, and then he comes out and lights you up. So. He got enough weapons to do something, and we'll see what happens. Plus, you got one of the best run games in the league. We talk about Henry, but Chubbs is a beast too. He's a straight monster. He was a monster when he was splitting carries with Hunt, and now you don't even get to see Hunt get the ball that much anymore. It's just all Nick. Nick is just dominating, man.
And you know what Cleveland has is a good offensive line, at least in run blocking. I mean, they're like number 1 or 2 as a unit for run blocking and Pro Football Focus. And he's got a great offensive line. I think he's a great running back too. Mm-hmm. But I just feel like
if Henry had that line, he would be like,
oh dude, he'd have freaking 1,500 yards.
3,000 yards rushing.
Dude, he would. I'm convinced that he would. Dude, look what he's doing with this patchwork crap offensive line that we have. I mean, he's got over 1,000 yards. I mean, the yards per average hasn't been, it's 4.3 or something. But imagine if he had a halfway decent offensive line. It's just these guys, I'm telling you, BIRDGANG, these guys have been terrible at run blocking. I mean, terrible.
That's crazy.
So
that's crazy, man. Yeah, like I said, I think it's going to be a good game. Like I said, until that point hit, and I say that point's going to probably be because we haven't really been like we started out the whole for a while, and I think we still are the highest scoring second quarter team. But like they were like, oh, Eagles can't score in the second half, and it seemed like they took that personally and started losing in the first half and started coming back in the second half to try to put points up over there, which is weird to me, but. They need to stop, go back to doing what you do. You got to have a hot start against this team. And you got to put those points up early in the first 2 quarters, to really, make them change their game plan. Because, like I said, you down by 3 touchdowns, you're not going to be just running Derrick Henry, if he's not.
If we get down by 3 touchdowns, we're not winning this game. I mean, we're not built to come from behind like that. I mean, maybe 10 points, something like that, multiple scores. We gotta keep up with you guys all game. We gotta keep it close to have a chance at the end.
I say I'll say we can win by. We haven't really been blowing nobody out. Either it's gonna be a bad, like just great day in Philly, total blowout. But I really think it'll be like a 31-20 game. You know what I'm saying? Like. Some points gonna get scored in that first half for both teams, and I think a couple, like I said, whenever we play star running back, we might be slowing him down in the first half, but it's gonna be these receivers that no one really cares about or not known to be great, like Traylon Burks, even though he's had a couple of good games, but him all of a sudden lighting us up, and what I'm saying, like your tight end and players that you weren't expected to be, pivotal parts of the game is what's gonna be hurting us early, and then we're gonna figure out a way to stop that and. Do our thing because like I said, we build different. We deep in a lot of spots. If they can't do it, then I don't know who can, and it's gonna be hard beating the Eagles. So that's my score prediction. Go ahead and let everybody know. It's almost game time. Want everybody to be able to get to their spot and their position and do their thing. Let everybody know where they can find you at, man.
Yeah, man. Just Titans Rossi on YouTube, Twitter at Titans Rossi, Instagram. I just made one of those. I guess it's at Titans Rossi, and there's a TikTok I literally just started today.
You're TikToking now.
Yeah, I'm trying to get that going. So
it's so hard.
I'm trying to expand a little bit on the platforms, but like I said, Twitter's been smoking, man. It's been great. So
yeah, Twitter's been great too. Like even for me, like I think I'm almost I'm at close to 3K. Somewhere around there. It's been good. Yeah, I've been on there less than YouTube. I love that because that place they probably see more retweets than me even saying anything because like I love being able to talk to so many different people and like meet people and talk. Yeah, it's cool.
It's fun, cool. Man. That's what it's all about, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, hey man, thanks again for coming on the show. I'm gonna let y'all get to the game. It's gonna be a great game in Philly. Much love to all you guys. Hit that like on the way in or out. Fly, Eagles, fly. Until next time, it's BG. That's Rossi. We out. Peace.